Well, welcome to Cub Youth. We're really excited you're here today for this webinar. Today, we're going to talk about Unite West, and we've got lots of things in store for you. If you will, we'd love for you to engage in our chat area. So again, if you would put your church and conference in there and let us know what the weather's like out there. Today, I'm very happy. It's very sunny out, and I'm loving the sunshine. And we'll get started. We're going to have Eric share some updates with you. We just got back from our site visit at San Diego State University, and it was glorious. I'm so excited for what Eric has to share with you. Yeah. So there you go.
Do you want me to dive in to some updates and whatnot? Great. Well, good to see you, everybody. So glad you're joining us. It is a wonderful 64 degrees here in the Twin Cities and sunny. So summer and spring are almost here for us. We're finally kind of thawing out. But to Unite West details about speakers, you can find all the speaker lineup and list actually at cubchurch.org/unite. And we're really excited how we feel like how God's in the movement. We're actually going to be releasing more details in the coming weeks about our worship band. And actually another fun update here to let everyone know about is our afternoon seminars. So we are really excited that we have a number of people joining us. We haven't posted them online yet. We have a few other quick little details to make sure that we have all things lined up. But yes, we have incredible topics in seminars. Leaders for everyone from Unite West from North Park, they're going to be joining us. We have some things with our campus pastors, really just really deep and wide offerings this year when it comes to being called to ministry, what it looks like to have further discussion with things they hear in the morning sessions and connecting with our campus pastors. So we're really excited about all the offerings. You'll be able to see that online here in the coming weeks. So we're really thrilled about that to announce, let you know who's going to be leading us in worship, both morning and the evening, as well as our seminar offerings. And then when we're on site, just so you know, we'll have a wonderful web-based app that'll have all the details and maps. And I will also say this too, Ruby. If you haven't watched Jim's amazing Unite West video on YouTube, make sure you go and watch it. It's a lot of details, and Jim did a great job kind of showing you what the campus looks like, some of the ins and outs of what you can expect from housing to just the overall campus feel and vibe. It'd be really helpful for you to kind of familiar yourself with that video. So to kind of prepare you and your leaders and students for being on site at SDSU. And now I'll let you talk about this, Ruby, when it comes to scholarship.
Sure. So hopefully you've gotten in before the early bird deadline. But we know that groups are still learning about new kids that are interested in coming to Unite. And so we definitely want you to think about if there's any financial needs for your students. There is scholarships available. And so the first step is to go connect with your conference Unite liaison. And that individual will have all the information for you, but they currently hold 33 scholarships per conference, and each voucher is $150. And so if you simply go to them and talk to them about your needs, they'll get you hooked up, and then they'll give you a special code as you continue in your registration process. You might be thinking of kids that have needs that you didn't foresee that you might have already registered. If that's the case, then you can touch base directly with Chelsea, and with her email. We'll have Jordan drop her email in here, or maybe touch base with Jordan as well. But the request should come from the youth worker. So obviously, as you're doing registrations, you will manage that. And do be mindful of what your needs are for your group. We don't want it to be a barrier. So access the blessing of these gifts that we've been given from the covenant.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say too, along with that, and Ruby and I have been talking, if you have students that haven't signed up yet, or they're kind of on the fence, this is a great way to kind of approach them again and say, hey, I know that finances might have been a hurdle for you. We have these scholarships available that might help that student who might be on the fringe or fence when it comes to joining us this summer. to help have them be with you in the group, and something that we don't want them to miss out on and how God's going to move. But there's still opportunity for those scholarships. So we're super grateful to all of our partners who helped made that a really impactful reality. A couple other things too. When it comes to registration, that next payment, that next final payment, you can see all those details at covchurch.org/unite. When you click registration and the FAQs, you can see what the next part of that process looks like for you and your church, and what the next step is for you. So make sure we keep pushing people not only to the website, but also to the resources page here at covyouth.com. So if you have any questions there, make sure you check those out, or just email us as well as a team, and we can help you kind of finalize what that looks like when it comes to finances, and even, extended housing, early and late. All that information is there. In fact, I was talking to churches in Alaska today, there's 3 churches partnering together, and they're coming a day early, leaving a day late. But it's fun to see how, we're ramping up towards this event, and how all those details are coming together.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Another thing to kind of be aware of when not only you see Jim's video is like the transportation, like how do you get from the airport to the university? And you can see all of that in his video. He outlines it really well, concept about details, payment, and what that looks like. So make sure if you're flying into SDSU instead of driving, make sure you kind of take a look at that. That'll help you prepare you well as you get ready to be on site and on campus with everybody. And then, daily schedules up there. We've talked about it a couple times, at webinars, and just want to keep pointing people to the same. You can see the schedule online, kind of get a feel of what the day looks like for you, your students and leaders.
Yeah, and leaders, don't forget about your job and task too. Is make sure you're checking out the trainings and the background check. And I know the fingerprint form seems a little daunting, but get ahead of it. And there is an address. Let me read this correctly. There is a specific address for the fingerprint form. And so we'll drop that in the chat for you. This goes in the box called employer and address. So check that out. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in our Unite Cov Youth thing. There you go. Thank you, Jordan. Well, we've kind of talked through schedule. Definitely check that out. I'm sure your kids are curious about what's going to happen. Also, Jim talks pretty clearly about the transportation process. So be thinking ahead about some of those details. A couple of key documents for you to check out is if you go to our resources page where Cov Youth is, there's leader prep information, information about registration that Eric mentioned, and also just some more explanation on our transportation. And then it will also give you details about just reminding you that the cost is $50 per person per night for every additional need for housing. And then there's a link that you will need to check out to sign up to make sure that's reserved. And then also, if you're still interested in volunteering, you can click our volunteer form to let us know, and we'll get in touch with you to let you know what our needs are at this point. But definitely check out Cov Youth. There's tons of resources on there.
Also, when it comes to registering, if you're actually going with, like I mentioned, there's multiple groups coming together with the extended housing needs, and Jordan just dropped that link in. There's a section that says "Tell us more." You have kind of any other information. It'll be helpful for us as we do the housing sort of blocks and assignments, that we know what churches to kind of put together. So if multiple churches are coming together with their leader ratio, that is be really helpful for us to know, and then we can make sure we really align and strategize to make sure you are in the same dorm, same floor as those together. So just wanted to call that out there as another little part of information.
Adam London asked, is the new address new since the last update email? Not sure.
I'm not sure. That's
just double check and make sure. If this one looks different, pick this one. I'm curious, Eric, is there anything that you'd like to share about our San Diego visit that might be fun for our youth leaders to know or important?
Yeah. It's a beautiful campus. I think there's a lot of things that you're going to see when it comes to the welcome party, kind of the hub area where the things for students to do throughout the week. There's an incredible pool area that I think is going to be a really fun thing for students to experience throughout the week. But I think overall, beautiful campus, great hospitality with them and their team. And the university will help us even with like some accessibility issues. And people come to like, hey, how do I help? Because it is a large campus for me. Like, we walk quite a bit. Yeah. So I would say, make sure you have good walking shoes. Don't just wear flip-flops the whole time because your feet will get torn up a little bit. So to make sure you kind of come prepared for that. But no, I mean, it's beautiful. And I think it's going to be a great experience. A lot of opportunities for students, not only to have a lot of fun, but I think really engage God when it comes to on campus.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I don't get excited until I actually get to the place I'm going. And so doing this site visit was really exciting to be on campus and to kind of envision what the summer will be. And it is a gorgeous campus. And one of the things I love about the campus is there's so many spaces to just sit and hang out, and just beautiful courtyards and benches along the way. And it's super flat, which is nice. It's very different than UT, no uphill, downhill action. So it is pretty flat. But we do recommend bringing a clear backpack. And that's just wise in when we have our large group gatherings to get into that space, but also just prepare for your day, as most of the things outside of our sleeping area are across campus. And so if you need to bring a Bible or Band-Aids for your kids or a water bottle, any of that stuff, just be prepared to bring it out with you so you're not having to run back and forth. And then in Jim's video, there's lots of accessibility to restaurants, and there's 3 Starbucks on campus, which is bonkers. So you might want to do like Starbucks gift cards as prizes, or
for your leaders to help them stay highly caffeinated for Jesus throughout the week as they lead.
That's right.
I will say, to your point, San Diego is a beautiful weather campus. Like, I think we're having great weather this summer. That being said, I would make, like Ruby said, water bottle. Like, I would re-emphasize, make sure your students bring either a collapsible water bottle or other, like, there's lots of water filling stations around the campus. Just to help everyone stay hydrated. That's really, and sunscreen. Yes, Jordan. Yeah.
Sunscreen and a hat would be nice. There aren't a lot of trees and shade, so that would be super helpful too. And I would just bring like some fun things, like some cards if you're just hanging out waiting for things, or a Frisbee. There's beautiful open space. There is some rules though that you should know about: no scooters or skateboards on campus, or rollerblades. I think that might be a thing. We'll have to check on that. But so just be
not to bring rollerblades. So
Jordan, don't bring your rollerblades. We don't want you running over anyone. Jordan wrote in the chat that students can bring a drawstring bag into the dining halls and worship spaces. Leaders can bring full backpacks, which is awesome because leaders always have to pack extra things. So cool. Are there any other questions that you guys want to ask in the chat?
I don't see anything yet.
Yeah.
Oh, great question.
Yes.
So they're when it comes to leaders and student health, they're not in the same room. So adult leaders and volunteers will stay with one another. Students stay with students, and it's been that way at Unite/Chicks historically. But yes, that's one kind of policy that is in place. Just let you know. And then we will start working on room assignments and room blocks with CIY as we get closer to the once registrations kind of start to really wind down and finalize. And his second question, is there a good internet connection in the dorm area for adults who need to check in for work? Great question. I don't actually have I know they have internet connection, but as far as like leader dedicated sort of networks, we can ask about that. When it comes to they have to check in for work as they're volunteering throughout the week, we'll ask the university, see what that could look like and what the options are.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there are 3 Starbucks though, which is also really important. Well, I want to just let you guys know to check out the previous Unite Info webinars. They're great references and resources for you as you're planning. Also, just be thinking ahead with your transportation to the airports, or even creative ways to partner with other churches in your travel. And then we also just want you to just be mindful of, just how you are thinking your church in their participation of sending kids and praying for them. It'd be great if our conferences could get together and just kind of brainstorm ways that you could ramp up as you're heading to Unite. So maybe it's getting gatherings together or ways to connect, but definitely find ways that you can be partnering and connecting together. Our next Unite webinar is going to be, this says May 9th, but I think we're going to have one next month. So we'll let you know about that specific date. And then there's another Cov Youth 101 webinar coming alongside students and families in crisis. And so that information will be out for you as well. So that might have been a previous one too, actually. Yeah, I think it is. So we'll let you know about what the next 2 are. Eric did ask a question: what policies and expectations are there for leaving and staying campus for groups and students?
That's a great question, Eric. And so for everyone here, we will send out sort of like if you're arriving early or departing late, we'll send you kind of like the check-in, check-out times. But we referenced it, I think, a few webinars ago, kind of like your normal like hotel policies, like check in around the afternoon and then leaving if you're staying late, noon the following day. But we will get those exact details to you as you prepare, and we'll make sure we'll communicate through not only Cov Youth, the website, but also to you directly.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Oh, Eric is typing another question, I think. Oh, he said during the event.
Oh, got it. Yeah. For staying on campus. Sorry, Eric, I didn't mean to misinterpret that question. Ruby, I apologize for that. Yeah, so we really kind of discerned what's up to kind of the youth leader, what that looks like and what you're thinking. So if one afternoon you're leaving campus and doing something as a group, that's sort of to the youth leader's discretion. And I think as a team, we're just kind of putting that in your court as the leader. We would recommend is kind of staying on campus throughout the programming of the week. So when it comes to Monday through Friday morning, because there are so many things happening. There are going to be so many incredible, not only seminars, activities, all group sort of big games that we're going to be doing together, the sessions. We wouldn't want you or your students to miss out on any of that, what we've been prayerfully planning. So we do encourage groups to come in early. If you wanted to do a beach day or leaving late, those are the spaces I would recommend doing that within your planning and programming for your group specifically.
Yeah, and we will also have our human services teams around too, and especially if there's ever an issue of someone getting into the dorms late after our quiet hours. We really want you to inform the RAs that are in the building, as well as letting me know if there's ever an issue that arises, just so we can make sure everybody's accounted for. So that would be really big. And then also we would ask that you would use discernment within your own youth groups, as far as, the campus is a public campus. And so there are, places to go like restaurants and coffee shops and stuff. And so I would use your discernment on going as a buddy system or going with a leader, just being mindful of the maturity and responsibility of your youth group. Every group is different. And so just being wise in that. So, yeah. And yeah, just feel free to communicate with our RAs if there's ever an issue with staying or leaving. So,
yeah. And to that point too, if like your group's in a really good discussion after an evening service or something where you feel like the spirit's moving, students are engaged or something, like it goes a little bit longer than expected. I just make sure, like you said, like Ruby said, just let our team know, Ruby's team know, so that they know that maybe a little bit later getting back into the dorms will be important for everyone to know.
Yeah, but also don't be that youth group that's like, we're going to meet till 3 a.m. because we want our human services teams to go to bed too. Here's another question. Any thoughts on what we can tell church leaders and parents who are asking about college student protests at SDSU? I would imagine it won't be an issue this summer, but did you experience that on your site visit? Any thoughts?
Do you want to?
We did not experience it during our site visit. And yeah, the campus will change drastically during the summer. But if there is campus security that will manage that piece of it, not our Unite team. And so we will just navigate it as possible. We just don't know. You might foresee that in the airports as well. And so just be aware of your surroundings. But at this point, we haven't experienced any of that on campus. I'd assume during the summer they wouldn't be doing that because most people are gone. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, well, I think if there's no other questions, we'll close here unless, Eric, you have anything else you want to add? But again, check out our Cov Youth for resources. Also, under our Unite tab, feel free to ask questions as they arise. But we're praying for you guys. We're really excited for our groups and individuals that are coming on this Unite West. And we're just excited to see what God will do and is doing right now.
That's right. And I'll say this, like in partnership with the interim youth team and our Unite West executive team, I'll say if you know other youth pastors who might not have the answers or you're asking questions with one another, I've discovered that there are a good chunk of youth pastors who are new to the covenant and just don't know about covyouth.com. So I've been pushing people there to that platform where all these things are there in details and information and resources. So I always encourage people say like, hey, if as you're talking to your colleagues and friends in your conferences or even in your region, keep pushing people to covyouth.com because it's a great place to have conversation and see all the resources and previous webinars that we've done so far. I can't believe we've done 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're about to do 9B. Unite East.
I love it.
Well, all right. Well, we hope you guys enjoy your day. I hope you find some sunshine somewhere. But we're really thankful for your leadership and for your yes in coming to Unite and bringing students. And we hope you have a wonderful day. All right. We'll see you later.
Have a good one.
Bye.